Okay, let's look at a typical site inspection. Okay, most stations will have a recorder logbook or a station book. Some sites might have two, one for the primary, one for the backup, or both may be recorded on the same. In our case we have primary and backup on the same log sheet. So we start up a new page and we just fill it in order, checking off everything that we need to at the site. So the first thing we do is write down obviously what station we're at, because this sheet will come out and back to base. We'll write whether it's an inspection, the date, time, standard time, daylight saving time, recorded time, what site number it is, external gauge, which we look at, the internal gauge, both recorders, what they're recording, both sensors, water temperature, maybe any other water quality parameters that you record at the site, rainfall, the telemetry, how many telemeters sensors you have, one or two, and what they are they working, voltages, primary backup, are they independent, what are the voltages, measure them independently, any remarks you may have at the time like today.
Always good to note the condition of the river, in this case being low, and the control, if you can see it, in this case being a large river we can't really see it here.
Just a general check of the area, is everything okay? And then we're going to check whether we've done the gauging or not, backup, has it been downloaded, anything been done separately, who the observer was.
Okay, so looking around the station, we've got our two hydrologgers, 2001 versions, batteries, fuse panel wiring at the back, EPB battery, primary battery, and the big N unit, NRT unit behind with the harvest modem for the cell comms, and our internal plumb bob going down through the floor here.
So as we start filling in our book, we're looking at both sensors in this case, which is nice, they've both got an LCD display. So we can write on you see the value 1403, 1405, so 1.4 meters. We'll check that against our internal and our external. So our internal, 1.403. We want to raise it up afterwards so that if the river level comes up, the EPB is not sitting in the water. So 1.403, primary is 1.402, backup 1.404. And now we'll go and look at the external.
We can see today the river's very low, so the river's just only on the lower bottom staff gauge. So there's your 2 metre mark, and if we zoom in we'll see, we can see there's the 1.4, it's just lapping above there, a couple of maybe 1 mil, 1.401 metres. So you can see the LCD displays showing on our backup in this case, 1.401 before, so there, and the primary is, primary is 1.402.
So another thing to do while you're here is do an independent check of the voltage. So we'll check this on both the primary and the backup. So we've got 14.6 volts and 14.0504 on the backup, slightly less. So diode between them, they should be reading differently slightly. Bit of loss through the diode, about half a volt, so that would be about right, 14.6, 14. That's all reading true. In this case, both these recorders are telemetered, so one through the BGAN satellite and one through the cell network, so we're getting both those stage and volts back at the office. So as we can see, everything's agreeing. We did no rainfall at this station. Comms is both working. Volts 14.6 and 14.01. Gauging, yes, and the flow was 117 cubics. I'm just going to note that the river's low. There should be a wiring diagram on site. Any instructions that are needed for loggers. Okay, so the other thing we can do is do
do a manual download and just plug into the loggers to make sure they're working okay. We will plug in via a key span in this case, and we will go into the Starlog software. In this case we're going to select an embedded scheme in NRT based, and we're going to check our connection. In this case should be COM2, connect, and then go into test mode. And you'll see in the top left it's uploading the scheme now. Okay, as the data comes in, we can then check that obviously it is the right site name. Logger time, important, write that down on our log page. Log rate, first last log, scan rate, how much data memory is left, and then of course our stage volt check at this point. Incremental unload, append to file, 100%, you can okay that, and we can look at that data as well. And here we have voltage course in red. Let's just take that off and look at stage only. And as you can see, the river's been, with the lake being going down, the river has been tracking it down over this whole time. So here's a good visual check of what the data's like. We've got that now as a download. Let's go back to our test mode, check everything's okay, and we can disconnect. Finished with the site. So while at the site we'll also do a general check of the tower, walkway, aerials, so there's no damage, nothing eating the cables, no vandalism. Also solar panel, wiring, any aerials.